Okay, everybody, today's mini lesson is on to be, but this time it's the verb estar and not the verb ser. This will be the present tense of the verb estar. So as we look at estar, there's a little rhyme that can really help you to remember when to actually use estar compared to using ser. Estar is going to be used for how you feel and where you are. You should always use the verb estar. So we can see some examples here below. Yo estoy en la biblioteca. Yo estoy cansado. There's our feeling, right? Yo estoy cansado. Yo estoy triste hoy. I'm sad today. So we have feelings and emotions showing up there. Hoy está nublado y llueve. Today it's cloudy and it's raining. And so we can see that we have some certain weather expressions that use estar. And lastly, we have what's known as the present progressive. Yo estoy hablando por teléfono. We'll see that in just a second. The conjugated forms of estar look like this. Yo estoy, tú estás, él, ella, usted está, nosotros, nosotras estamos, and ellos, ellas, ustedes están. So if we look at this closely, we can see that estar is actually just a regular AR verb with a couple of modifications. In the yo form, we have to add the y. We can see that showing up there. And then in the tú, él, ella, usted, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes forms, we have to add the accented a. So, estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. The present progressive, as I mentioned earlier, looks like this. Yo estoy hablando, I am talking. Tú estás comiendo, you are eating. Él está haciendo, he is doing. Nosotros estamos viendo, we are seeing or we are watching. Ellos están bailando, they are dancing. Usted está desayunando, you are eating breakfast. Tú estás nadando. Are you noticing a pattern? Hopefully you're seeing that for AR verbs like hablar, bailar, nadar, we have an ando ending when it's used in conjunction with the helping verb estoy, estás, está. So the estoy, estás, está changes for the pronoun yo estoy, tú estás, él está, and we have an ando to make I am talking, a progressive form. And for the ER-IR verbs like comer and ver, hacer, we have an IENDO. So ando for AR verbs, yendo for ER-IR verbs. And basically what we're going to see is a pattern emerge like this. To create the present progressive form, use the appropriate form of estar with the pronoun that you've chosen, yo estoy, tú estás, él está, nosotros estamos, ellos están, and then you're going to manipulate your infinitive by dropping the AR or the ER and ER-IR and replacing it with ando for AR verbs and yendo for ER-IR verbs. So it ends up looking like this. Estoy hablando, estás comiendo, está haciendo, estamos viviendo, están bailando, estoy leyendo. Now, I could swipe out any of these estoy with estás, está, estamos, están. So depending on the person who's talking right now, we could use tú estás hablando, él está hablando. Notice one little change did happen here in the verb leer. The verb is L-E-E-R. When we drop the ER, we're left with only L-E. And when we add an I-E-N-D-O to it, we have way too many vowels together. So to break this up in Spanish, we have to substitute that I for the letter Y. You've seen this before in words like lápices, where we switch the C to a Z before we add ES. Well, in this case, we're going to swap out the I, so that way we don't have too many vowels in the middle. We have E, Y, E. And remember, if you ever start singing Old MacDonald, E-I-E in Spanish, E-I-E-I-O, that doesn't work. We need to swipe it out and get rid of that I and put in an E-Y-E instead. Your turn for practice. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can come up with these appropriate present progressive translations. Remember, use the appropriate form of estar for each pronoun, and then ando for AR verbs and yendo for the ER-IR verbs. Go ahead and pause now. Great job. This looks very busy on the screen, but let me explain what's going on. What I've done is highlighted in the appropriate colors from the top in the blue box. You can see the estoy, estás, está, estamos, and están in their appropriate places. And then for the AR verbs, it has that slight reddish pink highlight for the andos. And for the ER-IR verbs, you can see the yendos. And then, of course, in the middle where you see they are reading and they are hearing, I switched the I for a Y, so that way it's leyendo and oyendo. Bueno, amigos, esto es todo. Muchas gracias y adiós.